Number 5, you want to consider cost funding. Our score, 8.8 over 10. When cash is tight, cost funding can provide the business loan that you need. No personal guarantee, EIN only if possible. Okay, and their requirements are kind of cool. Also, they're not really complicated. For example, they're asking you to be in business for 6 months. You must have a FICO score of 550 if you want to go the FICO route as opposed to the EIN only route. And your revenue must be greater than $100,000. So that's less than 10 grand a month. Okay. And with coast funding, what we love is that the whole process is very streamlined. They will approve you real fast, and they don't ask too many questions. I mean, they'll ask questions that a lender will ask, but they're not going to tell you how to use the funds and blah, blah, blah. No, they're not complicated at all. So you apply in minutes, you accept your offer, and you access your funds. Okay. That means that in some cases they will do a soft pull for you. Or if they don't do a soft pull, they will do a quick survey. You just need to answer a few questions. It takes 2 to 3 minutes. Very, very quick. Okay. And when you talk about coast funding, you have a smorgasbord of loans that you can access to actually take care of the situation you currently have. So, and again, at preferential terms, at a very flexible conditions. So you're talking about business line of credit. Here, the loan amounts go from $5,000 to $250,000. You have business loans. You have $10,000 to $1 million. You have working capital loans. You have $5,000 to $2 million. As a matter of fact, working capital loans are really good if you have a temporary shortage of cash and you need the cash real fast to do whatever you have to do. And again, all of those loans, they're nothing complicated at all. Okay, so you have equipment financing. Here you have $10,000 to $5 million, pretty good. And so when you think about coast funding, you have to think about a personalized approach. We love the fact that they have a fast and very easy application, and their technology is really great. It's very innovative. They're constantly kicking ass. We love that. Okay, they're not sleeping on their laurels. We love it a lot. And there's no obligation, no industry experience, and they have a high approval rate. So overall, we love coast funding. Our score, 8.8 over 10. Number 4, we have Headway Capital. Our score, 9.1 over 10. When cash is tight, when business cash is tight, here is a lender who will take care of you. And they'll take care of you at affordable rates, at affordable conditions, okay? And basically, they provide emergency business loans, and for all kinds of purposes, okay? You can actually try to take care of inventory, or try to fix the ebbs and flows of your cyclical business. You need cash because now the high season is over, and you need to have cash to actually fuel the next phase. So this is really important. And one thing I want to do here is that Headway Capital is there, and they're not asking you again. We love that. We love that they're not telling you how to use the money. They will look at your business plan. They'll look at your business model. Once they approve you, they just need occasional I would say contacts, conversations with you, but they're not actually guiding you in all you are doing. I'm only saying this because people say, well, you have to sometimes. Headway Capital will want to impose their rules on you. They don't do that. If they used to, maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I don't know. But now they haven't done it in the last 10 years. My team and I, we know they don't do this. So when we talk about Headway Capital, they'll take care of you in terms of emergency, right? So let's say you have seasonal dependency. You have unexpected expenses, extra bills you can't cover because that customer that you are relying on, they have not paid you. You're trying to face an uptick in demand. You need to actually meet that demand, but you don't have the cash. This is where you need an emergency loan from Headway Capital, and so they do all kinds of loans. By the way, okay, it's up to you. When you contact them, make sure that you choose the best emergency personal loan for your specific business. Don't you try to listen to people talking, but then. No, everybody is unique. Your company is unique. So when you talk to Headway Capital, tell them whether you are interested in a bank loan, in a line of credit, in an invoice factoring arrangement. Explain to them what you want, right? So basically, the whole thing here is that Each loan category has its limits, so you have to see which one you want. Remember, with Handway Capital, you need to actually make payments on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. So those are things you need to be comfortable with. If you're comfortable with that, then you're good to go. In terms of approval, they can approve you within 24 to 48 hours. Fantastic. Number 3, we have Excel Capital Management. Our score, 9.5 over 10. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're talking about business loans to consider when cash is tight. So I want to talk to you about Excel Capital Management. And this is a wonderful emergency business loan. We love the fact that they will work with you again. And so they are really fast in terms of when you compare them to traditional banks or credit unions. Excel Capital Management is really fast, and we love the fact that they allow you to get your funding options with ease. You have a trifecta, so you have a complete application. Okay, you have a review of the terms and the loans they're giving you, and then you just sign the paperwork. Simple as that. And Excel Capital Management can fund up to $1 million. This is really good. And again, all those loans I'm talking about, those are unsecured loans. Okay, so you're not paying anybody to actually, no, you're not actually advancing any, you're not pledging any collateral at all. So an unsecured business loan is great for working capital, new hires, expansion, inventory, payroll, and much more, right? So remember, emergencies don't wait. Your business should not either. So talk to Excel Capital today to get the cash you need. And they ask you a few things, though. I need to say that because it's really important. So Excel Capital, they ask you to have a business plan. They want you to have 3 months of bank statements. They want you to have 6 months in revenue and $10,000 in monthly sales. But they want to see that business loan. Excel will ask you for that business loan. They want to see how you project yourself, your business, into the future. What are your pros and cons? Do you have more pros and more cons? How can you rectify those pros? So really, Excel Capital, they actually take the step. I mean, their role is kind of similar to a private equity firm, whereas they're really involved in a client's activities, and they sometimes will provide guidance depending on what they see. So this is really, it is what it is. If you don't like that kind of I would say introversion or that kind of sneak peek, then maybe don't go with Excel Capital Management. Otherwise, they are really good. They're really good. 9.5 over 10. And we love the fact that, the only reason why we did not make them number 1 was because there are some industries they don't cover, and those are legit industries, okay? And they do have sometimes some like uptick in the APR. Like their APR is not really transparent. Like you never know how much you're going to have to pay for a loan. So this is the only reason why we just did not think they were supposed to have the number 1 spot in today's conversation. Number 2, we have Quick Bridge. Our score, 9.7 over 10. So when you think about Quick Bridge, I mean, you heard the name, right? Quick. They're good. They're here for emergency business funding. They love that. And what we love about Quick Bridge is that they're doing things a little different. What they do is, instead of letting you actually fill out a form and actually send it to them, and then they'll call you, blah 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 blah, they allow you to actually contact them directly and ask all questions about the loan and apply over the phone. So you can actually do that. So you have a simple application process with business loans of up to $500,000. This is really good, very decent, more than decent, by the way, more than generous. And you receive funds within days. This is really good here. No hidden fees. You have early payoff discounts, which is really wonderful. And you have flexible loan term options. So you have loan term options that are really flexible in terms of your availability. So and one thing they do is they do the repayment window. So for example, they will allow you to repay the loan every week, every month, every fortnight, every other month. It really depends. It depends on your availability. It depends on how she feels. Remember. Now, one thing I want to say also is that when we talk about spending emergency business loans. Make sure that you actually, if you are a single member LLC, that's fine. But if you are in a team, you are a multi-member LLC, talk to your CFO, talk to your accountant, your chief accountant, talk to her, see how she feels. What does she think? What does he think? Right? And you need to coordinate that decision to make sure you have a one voice. I'm saying this because QuickBridge can actually grant you $500,000 worth of loans. And this is not for a sole proprietorship, of course. You need to be a business. You need to have a team around you to make sure that you are getting the right sort of guidance. And remember that when we talk about QuickBridge, we're talking about getting to using the cash to replace products, for example, to repair damage, to actually get emergency loans from alternative lenders. So you have a flexible use of spending, fast loan decisions. So you do have a constellation of reasons why you would want to get an emergency business loan. Okay, very important. Number one, the best of the best in our view when it comes to 5 business loans to consider when cash is tight. You have Biz to Credit. Our score 10 over 10, hands down, hands down. I mean, we've been dealing with Biz to Credit for years now, and they have never disappointed us. Fantastic company. You can apply in 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, you have a decision as fast as 24 hours. You get funded within 72 hours, and they are very generous. So you can receive between $25,000 and $6 million. This is really good. Okay, and the cool thing is that Biz to Credit will actually customize their solution, their funding solution to your business. For example, if you're in a certain industry, let's say you are selling Nike shoes, okay, online, and you are looking for a business loan. What will happen here is that business to Credit will customize a solution that will match this Nike shoes sort of business online, and will get you cash that will allow you to actually rebound really fast. This is really good. So when we talk about Biz to Credit, you have several types of business loans. You have working capital, you have term loan, you have CRE loan, that's commercial real estate. So here you have larger loans that are secured by commercial real estate. So it's really important. So for working capital, the starting amount is $25,000. For the term loan, you have up to $500,000. For CRE loan, for the real estate property loan, the real estate loan, you have up to $6 million. So the bottom line is you have a lender that got your back. Okay, they get your back no matter what. If you need more information, you want to contact them, 1-800-220-3795. Let me repeat that, 1-800-220-3795. We love that working with them a lot. And one thing you need to understand is that their business model is really unique. Why? Because basically what they do here is that once you actually get in touch with them, if they see potential in you, they'll actually help you. They will assign a loan rep, and a loan rep, her job or his job will be to actually, do some hand holding. They will actually show you how to actually structure your application so you can get approved. They'll help you get larger amounts, and they'll help you actually guide what kind of goal you want to pursue with that loan. And they do this not like in a very invasive way. No, nothing invasive at all. They're just out there providing guidance. And if you want the guidance, they'll just give it to you. If you don't want it, that's fine too. Okay, but Biz to Credit, our score, 10 over 10, fantastic. Before I actually do a recap here, I want to have an overview about the whole situation. Obviously, we're speaking about emergency business loan, right? Cash is tight. The thing here, when we talk about emergency business loans, you got to first understand what kind of, what is the typology. So you have a SBA emergency loans. You have emergency term loans, emergency business line of credit, emergency personal loan, business cash advances, and invoice factoring. So those are different types of business loans. My question to you is, what caused the emergency in the first place? Talk to me, boss. Because if you have an emergency, if you're looking for an emergency business loan because you had an emergency, if you don't fix the underlying reason, you're not going to solve the problem. Because what will happen here is that what will happen will be that you can actually get the cash to fix the problem, and after 3 months, after 2 months, you go back to square one. So what caused the problem? Is it something internally or something externally? Internally, in terms of are you able to manage your business properly, or you can't? Or did it come from externally? In other words, the market has actually experienced a sudden reversal that's making your business like obsolete. Okay, so you need to have a clear idea about what caused the emergency in the first place. Once you have that idea, you can just decide which destination you want your loan application efforts to go to or to point to. Right? Do you want to go in the direction of business term loans, business lines of credit, personal loans for sole proprietorships, business cash advances, business invoice factoring arrangement? So again, it's really important to really see it that way, so you have a clearer idea of what you're getting yourself into. And one thing I also want to say here is that you want to always find out what kind of situation you're in personally. If you have, let's say, let me just break it down for you. If you have a single member LLC, okay, and so that it's only you, there's nobody else, and you probably work from home, okay, and my question to you is, are you in the proper environment, or do you have to deal with kids, with your spouse? I mean, what kind of environment are you in? Can you deliver? Okay, and because sometimes when you have cash shortages, cash shortfalls, that's because you're not managing your business properly. You're probably you might be mixing personal and business affairs, which is really bad. But if you are in that situation, you have to take action to solve the underlying issue. I want to give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. And what do you have to consider with emergency funding for a small business? So what are the factors you need to really think about? So first thing first, you want to compare the total cost to borrow, including interest rates and fees. That's the first thing. Don't let anybody razzle dazzle you trying to tell you, hey, listen, you don't need to compare fees because they are competitive already. Hey, listen, it is your job because you'll be the one paying the interest on that business loan. You want to make sure that you are comparing the total cost. And it's normal. Some lenders have a higher cost structure than others. For example, if you take brick and mortar branches, like regular banks that you and I grew up with, if you take their cost structure is way higher than that of online lenders. It's just a fact, okay? Because online lenders don't have to deal with tenancy, paying leasing agreements every month. So there are a few things you need to consider. You need to compare the total cost. You need to look at how repayment works. Some lenders require you to enroll in an auto draft program that deducts money from your business banking account on a regular basis. Payments may be due monthly or as frequently as weekly, which could potentially create a cash crunch. So be aware of that. So depending on what options you choose, you may also want to prepare to have your cash flow impacted by invoice factoring, for example, or merchant cash advances, for example. So you have all kinds of scenarios to actually plan for. Okay. Finally, I want you to consider taking the time it will take to apply and get your funding, because this is the thing. You probably applied for a loan, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and the opportunity in the meantime disappeared, and you couldn't seize it at once. So those are the things I'm just talking about. And pick the right loan. At the end of the day, you need to pick the right loan that will actually suit you. And if you need help, just drop us a comment below. Ask us questions. We'll tell you the criteria you should use to pick the right loan. Not a problem, okay? And also be ready to provide financial documents. So bank statements for both your business and personal finances, tax returns for both your business and yourself, business-related legal documents, revenue statements, and accounts payable and accounts receivable. Okay, very important. Before I quickly recap today's conversation, please check out our approach. When it comes to business loans, emergency business loans, we have a very thorough approach that actually looks at several factors. Check this out. All right, let's quickly recap today's conversation here. So, the top 5 business loans to consider when cash is tight. Number 1, biz to credit, 10 over 10. Number 2, we have Quick Bridge, 9.7 over 10. Number 3, we have Excel Capital Management, 9.5 over 10. Number 4, we have Headway Capital, 9.1 over 10. Number 5, last but not the least, we have Coast Funding, 8.8 over 10. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.